Okay, hi. I'm Scott, and I have a kumquat tree. I have these beautiful kumquats, and I wanted to make. They're growing so fast that the kumquats were growing so fast that I couldn't get enough people to eat them. I mean, they're fragrant, they're citrusy, they're sour in the middle, and they have a skin. Some people. Okay, how do I say this? Just keep filming. Don't make the mistake of peeling a kumquat and throwing away the skin, because the skin is actually where the sweetness is. So the inside juice is really sour, and but the outside squint. This is good.
Sorry, I'm just laughing in the background.
The outside skin is where the sweetness is held. Don't shake, camera girl. So anyway, I have so many kumquats on my tree. I'll show you a picture that I couldn't even pick them fast enough. So before they all go bad and fall on the ground, I decided to make some jelly. Now, the acid in the citrus has a problem. You can't make regular jelly with the pectin like you would other types of fruit, where you have you know, the pectin interacts with the sugar and stuff. I think it's because they're acidic. So what we have to use is gelatin. And I just had some gelatin. Where did it go? Oh, you just stay filming this way. So what we have to use is this unflavored gelatin, and that will thicken up our mashed fruit and our cooked fruit and sugar. And the trick is to get the proportions just right. And in this particular recipe, we're going to go somewhere between 4 and 5 teaspoons, measuring teaspoons of gelatin. And I guess the first thing to do, well, I'll tell you that in a minute. Anyway, to prepare our fruit, I need to put pauses because we can chop this up. But to prepare our fruit, I tried different things. I tried cutting it with a knife, and I tried using a chopper, one of these slap choppers and stuff. But I've come up with a new system that I'm using now to make it pretty easy to get the fruit ready, because they're a small fruit and they all have seeds in them. So for starters, I'm going to set up right here. I have my washed fruit in this bowl, and what I'm doing is okay. So to prepare our fruit, I found the best way to cut it is just using these scissors. So we want to get the seeds out of all. You can come down here now. We want to get the seeds out of all of these. So we just cut them in half with scissors. I've got my washed fruit here in the bowl. And for starters, you just cut each one in half, and you're going to find that every single one of them is going to have little seeds in there. Now I'm doing this in like a colander, like a strainer, and underneath the colander I have a bowl to catch all the juice. So I'm going to squeeze these halves, and the seeds are going to fall out, and then I'm just going to throw them over here in the processor to get chopped. So when I'm done cutting these all in half and dumping them in here, I just pour the juice like that. And that is the quickest, easiest way to prepare all the kumquats and remove the seeds. You squish the seeds out, you save the juice. Now we're doing this a little late. I've already filled my food chopper here. I had used a hand chopper. Look at my hands. I had used a hand chopper before, but that was a lot of work. So I'm just going to try to sort of puree them in this Cuisinart little tiny food processor. I'm going to pulse it a few times. Now, how much? If you don't like to have big chunks of the skin, you know, and like in your marmalade, then you can really puree it and really, you know, hit it a lot. If you'd like the chunks like I do, then you just go ahead and you know, hit it a few times. But I'll be somewhere in the middle. I'll make probably like 1/4-inch chunks would be nice to have in the jelly. What is so funny?
I just can't. I'm laughing.
What's so funny?
Carol.
Alright, so here we go.
I don't like looking.
Come on down here and look from the side. Look at the fruits. So I got all the fruits in here.
Where am I? Say that again.
I've got all the fruits here in my little Cuisinart chopper. I'm just gonna pulse it. So it looks pretty pulpy. So I can check it and see. Oh, look at that. Now you might not like big chunks of rind like that, but I do. I like the skin. I'll give it a few more good whacks. Isn't that wonderful? Look at that. We're shooting to get about, we want to get about two full cups in this recipe. So I have this cup here, and I'm going to, I really didn't prepare because I was making some earlier, and I want to I want to get all this out first.
Okay.
All right, so here I'm gonna. Are you filming what I'm doing or what
yes.
I'm saying?
Film everything.
All right. So now I'm gonna get. If we get 2 full cups of mashed up, chopped up, seedless. Oh, see, we don't quite have it yet. That's good. We want to have 2 full cups of this mash for this recipe before we keep going. I don't know why I keep washing my hands. They're just gonna get sticky again. So let's. Okay, down here, camera girl.
I'm sorry. My camera stuff is just so bad. So...
Are you still filming?
Yes.
Good, okay. So remember, you put the seeds in there. We're going to squeeze each of these and just fill up our processor here. And make sure the seeds are all squished out. And don't worry about losing the juice, because I have a bowl underneath and that'll catch the juice, and when I'm done squeezing all the seeds out, I'll just pour the leftover juice right into the processor with it. So we get all that tangy, delicious kumquat flavor. It goes right along with it. And we get the sweet skin and the tangy juice, and it's just going to make a terrific jam. And it's going to be really good. Gives you that real zing, that citrus zing. It's got these things are so fragrant, they almost smell like perfume. You know, it's like a citrus perfume. I don't know if there's such a thing, but if there was, I would sniff it because it smells so nice.
I would sniff it too.
Camera girl would sniff it. Oh, see, don't get confused like I just did and accidentally squeeze seeds into the wrong container. Oh, I wasn't concentrating, and that's what happened. So now I use my scissors to extract the seeds. Don't make that mistake. Okay. Squeeze the seeds, drop it in the container. Squeeze the seeds, drop it in the...
Wait, are we going to cut this part out?
We'll have some... We'll use some of it.
Sorry, but it's like 4 minutes of you squeezing the seeds and dropping it in the container.
Okay, cut. Okay, get your finger off it. Alright, so we're done filling up the food chopper again. I got all the seeds in here. I'll whack the juice out there. I'm going to put the juice right in the chopper so that it gets blended in. We'll chop that up and we'll be ready to start the next part. Cut. Okay, so I'm going to top this off at a good, what the heck, I'll just throw it all in there. We got a good 2 cups of fruity fruit chopped up and ready to go. Okay, nice. You're still filming? That's good. Okay, good. So we're going to put that right in the pan, and then we're going to add I'm going to add a cup of sugar, full cup of sugar in here. Keep filming, that's fine. Where's the sugar?
Looks like some sweet mashed potatoes.
Or
some very cheesy eggs.
I got a box of sugar from the dollar store. There we go. So I'm going to put 1 cup of sugar in there. That's about a cup. Okay, so put in a cup of sugar. And now I'm going to put a cup of water and rinse the sugar out of here. So I'll be right back with the water.
Sugar monster.
This recipe is going to make about 5. I'm gonna rinse this water around. This recipe is going to make about 5 little jars, this size jars of jam. So there we go. A cup of sugar, a cup of water, 2 cups of the fruit. I'm going to grab a spoon. Going to stir it all together. Wow. It seems like a lot of fruit this time around. If you missed any seeds, now's a good time. They float to the top, kinda. You'll see them. They're a different color and they'll pop up. So I'm going to put this on the stove and heat it up. Oops.
Oops. It's not that hard owning a cooking show.
Alright. So here we go. I'm going to heat this up until it kind of like it's all bubbling and gurgling and softens up that rind and absorbs the sugar. And in the meantime, I'm going to prepare my gelatin. Okay, so here we have a cup of water. Now we're going to soften our gelatin in there. We're using gelatin, remember, because the pectin won't react with the sugars because of the acid, blah, 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 in the citrus fruit. So to make it jelly-like, we're going to use gelatin, okay? Now, I tried 2 tablespoons and it made it really hard, almost like an eraser or a gummy bear. I don't want jelly like that because it's hard to spread. So then I tried using a tablespoon and a teaspoon, and it wasn't... What is so funny? You still filming? Are you still filming?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, that wouldn't help you.
So...
I have a problem.
Keep pointing it at me. Here we go.
No,
So this tablespoon, if you fill it to the top, is about 3.5 Shush! Okay, we still filming?
Okay, are we still going?
Come on, point it at me!
Sorry, my legs hurt. I think I have a 6-pack. Okay.
Alright, so, I don't know, I think this time we're going to go with like between 4 and 5 teaspoons, because like 3 would fit this tablespoon, sort of, kind of overflowing. 3, 4. I'm going to go with so 5 would be... No, I think we're going to go with 4. I think we're going to go with 4. And we're going to soften this in the cold water. So I just put, okay, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, 3 teaspoons, 4 teaspoons. You know what, I'm going to go with, no, 5 would be more than, well, 2 overflowing tablespoons would be more than 5. So I'm going to go with 5. I'm going to go with 5 teaspoons in that 1 cup of water. So if you're counting cups of water, we have a cup of water in the pan with our chopped fruit. We have a cup of water in here with our gelatin, which is softening. So that's 2 cups of water, 2 cups of fruit, 1 cup of sugar. Okay, and that ought to do it. I'm going to mix this gelatin in a little bit, and now we're going to go see what's going on the stove. This is going to start heating up and boiling. Once it's boiled up pretty good, we're going to mix in our gelatin that's softening in the water, and then we're going to stir it up and let it boil again, and then we're going to boil our jars and jar it up. So let's take a look at what's happening on the stove.
I'm sorry, I tried to do a transition.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah, I did.
You're doing it right now? You still filming?
Yeah, I am. You're still filming.
Why is that so funny? Point the thing.
Sorry, but like, it's funny.
aim, Jasmine.
Because I imagine you on like a cooking show, and like those people on the cooking show, like they're totally different off camera. And like freak out, they're like, "Hey, are you still filming?"
Are they different off camera?
I don't know, but I imagine.
Jasmine, you're aiming at your feet. Just whatever you do, even if you're laughing and talking, continue to aim the camera at something worthy of filming.
Well, you see, we're going to edit this, so it doesn't matter what I am saying. And how close this is to your face.
Well, no monkey cam, okay? And you're standing in front of the light, so if you don't step too, you're on a chair, so be careful. Just step a little bit to your side. Oh, see all the light there? All the light is coming from behind you.
Oh my gosh, I saw that. It was great.
Yeah, we want to be able to see what we're doing here.
Okay, go back to whatever you were saying before.
All right, so we're going to heat this up. And it's going to start like boiling and be really hot. And while this is going on over here, I have some water and a bunch of jars and lids. Look down here. And then I'm just gonna start that up. Actually, I'll cook them right here. So we'll get this all heated up, and then these will be ready to jar. They'll be nice and sterilized. We'll roll them around in the boiling water once it's boiling, and then they'll be ready to add our other solution. Let's remove this.
Ah, use those muscles.
Okay. Now, so when it comes time to jar this stuff, we're actually going to just use a ladle, which I will put in the boiling water to sterilize as well, and I'm going to hold these jars with tongs and whatever it takes so I don't burn myself. So let's just get this boiling. Okay, cut. Alright, look at this. Don't steam my camera. Okay. So we're going to stir this up.
I call it art.
We're going to stir this up, and now that we got a pretty good boil on there. The sugar is soaking into the rind and everything, and flavors are mixing. We're softening those rinds so they'll be a little bit softer in the boiling water. And now what I'm going to do is grab that gelatin, and you see the gelatin is turned, it's thickened right up. Over here. It's thickened right up, and it's going to get even thicker once we combine it with this hot stuff. I don't know why. Once we do that and chill it, it's going to turn. So I'm going to mix this in. More light.
Sorry.
Okay, we're going to mix in the gelatin. Mix, blue. And that's going to stop the boil. Alright, try to get all the little jelly particles out of there. I'm going to stir that in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this to a boil again, let it soften up some more, let all that gelatin mix in. Alright. Good, good. Our jars are boiling now. So I'm going to sterilize my tools. I'm going to put these tongs in the boiling water. Make sure all the buggies are burnt off of them. I'm going to put my ladle in the water. Meanwhile, I've got my jelly kind of simmering over here. I'm going to use the tongs to, and they have special tongs for this, but I don't own any. Shake the water out of my cup, out of my jar. And I get that ready. I'm going to go ahead and turn off this simmering stuff. I'm going to get a lid ready. I'm going to let that lid, I don't have a nice place to put it because my kitchen's terrible. But
we've noticed.
I'm just gonna put that here on this dirty rag. Alright.
A letter for your viewers.
and now I'm gonna use this towel so I don't burn my hand on the hot glass here. And I'm going to leave the front edge open because the front edge is where it's going to be dripping back into the... Ouch, this hurts. I try to hold it like that so that it'll drip down here but not get on the towel. We'll see how that works. You know what would be good in this situation is one of those silicone kitchen gloves. But actually, I own one of those. Hold on. I'm going to use it. Alright, so I couldn't find the silicone glove, but I found this old chewed up reindeer. So I'm gonna use that to hold my jar. And now I'm going to go on, aim it at the stuff I'm doing. Aim it over here, camera girl. Aim it over here. So I'm gonna fill this up. See how I have it sort of tilted back in? So it'll drip back into the It'll drip back into the pan. I learned this at the poop factory. That's how you fill up a jar so it drains down.
You're really good at this. They're like, I don't have a glove, but I found an old chewed up deer outside. I learned this from the poop factory. Look how the sludge is.
Come on, come on. Come on, stay focused. Stay focused.
Look how the sludge just slides into it.
So I'm gonna shake the water out of the jar. Get a lid ready. I'm going to put the lid on the dirty rag, and that'll be ready when I need it. Hold the jar with my chewed up reindeer, and then I'm going to fill another jar. And that's pretty much how it goes. Like I said, this will probably... Oh, my thumb is burning. I think there's a hole in the reindeer. Hurry, film! Don't stop filming!
I'm kidding.
Ow! Ow!
Stomach.
Okay.
It's screaming too.
Don't stop filming.
Stop.
Aim it over here.
Sorry.
Aim it over here. Okay, so I'm going to let these chill on the counter for a while. I'm going to let these chill on the counter for a while. I'm going to let these chill on the counter for a while before I put them into the fridge and let them finish up. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to continue canning in the same manner, and then they're ready to distribute to our lucky neighbors.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And like
Don't forget to subscribe and like.
Give this video a like. Yeah.
smash that like button.
Yeah.
Punch that like button.
Yeah. Yeah, if you like this video, I hope this video helps you to enjoy your kitchen, however crummy it is, and also your kumquat tree, because some people think kumquat trees taste terrible,
They kind of do.
or even the fruit that's on them. So
Stop doing
Everything's better with sugar.
yeah, everything's better with sugar.
Yes.